What's popping in the streets, everybody? I believe, therefore I am King Siler. Hope you're doing all right today. Welcome back. Part 2, Desert Storm 4, Battle Predictions. Before we get started, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Any like, share, or subscribe, or comment helps me get to the goal I need to get to, which is 1K on subscribers on YouTube. If you have any suggestions about anything that you want me to review, please, by all means, let me know in the comment section. I'd love to break it down for you, even if I need to do a in-depth breakdown, or even if you want to hop on an interview or something like that, or hop on a live stream with me and talk about the battles. I'm more than happy to. So again, we're all here for Crump. Again, big shouts out to the DeadEnd fam and everybody involved with the building of Desert Storm 4. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So next battle we have Knives versus Oxy. So looking at this particular battle, I think this is obviously another style clash. I think that we have Knives, who is a little bit more smash mouth, and then Oxy, I think, is very rowdy, very unorthodox when it comes to his movements as well. Looking at this particularly, I think I would have to go in favor of Oxy. I think the biggest component here is going to be versatility. Variety of movement here. I think Knives definitely has the creativity aspect as far as in terms of being creative when it comes to combos and materials, and also is very seasoned when it comes to her crump. So obviously your foundation and execution are going to be on point. But the one big factor that I do see here is going to be, all right, if Oxy comes out here, obviously we just saw a battle that he just simply had versus Hornet. What if he comes out there the same way in the first round? Gets out of there, does a crap ton of movement, hits some combos, some groundwork, a variety of creativity. Sometimes sometimes we've just generally seen that slow pacing or taking a lot of time to build up to rebuttal your opponent's round is not going to work. It doesn't help. If your opponent gets in there, and obviously, let's just call it a spade a spade. Oxy is under crush. Obviously, he's learned that is to be able to do a lot in under a minute 35. Sometimes the only way people can rebuttal is by, he danced a minute 30. Okay, well then I'm going to have to compensate, and then I'm gonna dance, for 2 or 3 minutes. I don't know. It may or may not work, but I think we've generally seen, based off of experience and time, it usually doesn't work. So I think that's the one big component that's missing here is a variety of movement when it comes to Knives. So I would have to give that battle in favor of Oxy. Next battle we have Qween Crook versus Qween DeadEnd. So Qween Crook, she's new to the scene. I'm not sure exactly how long she's been here, so don't kill me. I've only really seen her in the last year, so I'm only assuming that she's within 2 years of learning crump. Could be shorter, could be more. It is what it is. And then Qween DeadEnd has been around for quite some time. I think Qween DeadEnd has been around for at least 4 or 5 years, I would assume, maybe even longer. So she's definitely no rookie. Now, the one thing that I definitely like about this particular battle, obviously, styles make fights. So I always do love that. I have, when I did see Qween Crook versus Jay Chosen, from what I saw, Qween Crook is very powerful, very buck, very smash mouth as well, and it's just simply a brawler in my opinion. It's just one of those people who gets in there and just distribute pain. No pun intended with that. So, and then when I look at Qween DeadEnd, I think Qween DeadEnd obviously is very heavily character based. I love how the last time I saw her dance, it's been a while, but the last time I saw her dance was, or at least the one that's popping in my head that was very vivid to me, was the last time that we had, was it this? I can't remember. It's been a hot minute. But one thing that I definitely love about her is that I like that when she does her movements, there is kind of like this forgive my verbiage, but it's like an aftertaste. There's character attached to it behind it. You know, it's not just simply a pre-rehearsed character, but it's just like, I'm adapting this moment and then boom, that's what's happening afterward. I think was it the Blackout event? I'm gonna figure that out. Bear with me. But I definitely think that Qween DeadEnd, you know, brings a lot to the table. She's no stranger to the big stage. Definitely battled before. Haven't seen her in a bit, so you know maybe that could play a variable as well. And then I love like her abstract creativity that she brings when she's presenting her material as well. So I'm gonna go in favor of Qween DeadEnd. Because I think, honestly, when we look at this, experience is going to play a really big factor here. I think this will be the first time that we'll see Queen Crook on a big stage, and then Qween DeadEnd is just dope. I do remember that. I'm gonna figure it out. I'll probably put the video in here so that you can see it. But she definitely had like this crazy ass rebuttal that she did in the battle that I thought was a freestyle movement that was really dope. So yeah, so. In favor of Qween DeadEnd for the win. Now we have Dyce versus Fun and Games. Now, I haven't seen Fun and Games in a little bit. It's been a couple of months since I've seen him. I have seen Dyce being very active on social media when it comes to his craft. Now this one, for me, I think could genuinely go either way. Now, Dyce, obviously, in my opinion, is very catty, very material heavy, very combo heavy. And then, of course, Fun and Games is very unorthodox, abstract, and material and character heavy as well. I think the big determining factor when it comes to this particular round, because I've seen both of them, they are very big in terms of preparation when it comes to battle. I've never seen a battle. It may not necessarily be, you know, them levitating or jumping out the window every single battle, but I've rarely ever seen them get in battles to where they're not prepared. So I think this is definitely going to be one of those battles to where it's going to be determined based off of who gets the first round. I have seen in much more instances to where Fun and Games has that unorthodox style, and his movements are not as technical as Dyce's. So sometimes that usually kind of gets the edge over people that are very technical because it is a surprise factor in it. And I've seen a much more deadlier killer intent when he battled as well. When he battled in Power, I think that was probably one of the best times that I've ever seen him, and that was years ago. So I'm only assuming that obviously he's going to be better than he was then. Looking at it, I do definitely think that in terms of fundamentals and execution and cleanliness, Dyce has that in the bag. But again, I still say it's going to be really, really, really close. And I do genuinely think it's going to come down to the first round, like who sets the bar high. Because if one of them drops the ball, then I know the other is going to simply capitalize on it. Obviously, both individuals have good camps behind them, so I don't see either one of them slacking in this particular battle. So, but looking at this, I think I'm going to go in favor of Fun and Games, just simply based off of the creativity that he brings here. But I think this is a very, very, very close match. Up until the ones that all the battles I've done up until this point or looked at, I think this is probably going to has the closest ability to change favors real quick. So yeah, Fun and Games, I'm my judgment in favor of Fun and Games. Next battle we have DNA versus Bullet. Whoo, this is spicy. This is a tough one. So when we look at DNA is a seasoned veteran out of the South. And then, of course, we have Bullet. I spoke to him last night. What was it? He said I think he's been in Crunk for like 5 years. So not new, not a rookie. But in my personal opinion, I definitely think that he dances on a heavy hitter level. I think both of them do. So looking at this, DNA is a buckhead who's big on material and combos. Definitely has a variety of skill set that he brings to the table. No stranger to as far as like freestyling, being very in your face, just overall, in my opinion, just a seasoned veteran. And then of course we have Bullet, who's very heavy as far as in terms of material, combos, storytelling, and has a very character based as well. So when I look at this particular battle, I'm curious to see who's gonna set the stage as far as in terms of matching the momentum. Looking at this probably on paper, I won't lie, it looks like it would be in favor of Bullet. And that personally would be my judgment as far as like who I think would win this particular battle. Now, the only reason why that I say that is because when I look at DNA, DNA is very seasoned, but I have to ask the question of, okay, will your movements be as sharp and executed as well and as visual as we know Bullet can be? Bullet is very comfortable as far as like being on the stage. In my personal opinion, I think if this particular battle was in the street, I would definitely have it in favor as far as for DNA. But when we look at this battle and obviously where it's at, it's based on the stage and not outside. So I think I would have to go in favor of Bullet solely because of what he's going to bring in terms of as far as the stage. I think in terms of crump and fundamentals and experience, I would definitely have to give that to DNA. But when it comes to creativity and adaptation, I think that I would have to give that to Bullet. And if people don't know adaptation, just simply being able to think on your feet, freestyle right there in the moment. Because I do see this turning into one of those battles to where it's like, I think if nothing else, we look at this battle, this one could easily, if it's not 3 rounds, I could see them pushing for that 3rd round. If it's like 1-1, and I can kind of see it playing out as far as like, DNA is going to get in there, it's going to get live, it's going to use his experience as far as the battle, going to kind of push the envelope and stuff like that, run away with that moment. Now, as far as for Bullet, I see it being a little bit more strategical. If it does kind of like have one of those, all right, we're going to hop out here for this 3rd round, I see him much more going, all right, I'm going to try and hit this combo, or I'm going to try and hit this kill off or shoe move or whatever the case may be, and then him pushing for that. So I think that could potentially put him in favor. That's how I see this battle going. But that's not to say that Bullet needs to sleep on DNA, because from what I'm hearing, from that happened at the E session, gonna be on your ass, Bullet. Gonna be on your ass. So yeah, so just kind of looking at this particular battle, I will have it in favor of Bullet. We'll just have to see how this battle goes, how it plays out. If it's a 2-round battle, it might be 1-1. It could be a potential debatable. But if they push for that 3rd round, I think it may go in favor of Bullet. And not to hope I didn't give anything away just now, but that's a prediction for you. And then our next one, we have Hercules versus Lil Skillz. So Lil Skillz is new to me. I did have to do some research as far as like finding out who this particular individual is. He is from Arizona. He is Skillz's little homie, obviously. He is formerly he's the old baby flesh killer. So when I looked him up, I liked his style. I genuinely did. Very catty, very concept heavy, and very, I won't say catty, but I would say, I guess catty and cocky can kind of be the same thing. But I do like that, he implements a lot of movement and a lot of material and a lot of concepts into his crump. And I think that he's able to complement that very, very, very well for me. And then, of course, when we look at Hercules, in my opinion, I know people don't, fuck it. He's a powerhead to me. Like, he's a buckhead. He's another one that's here to I'm just here to inflict as much pain as I possibly can. Now, I will definitely say that he's very character heavy as well. And again, some people may not like to acknowledge it, but I think it's very important as well. Again, this man is a dancer outside of crime. Not to put his business out there, but he does dance with Chris Brown, from what I've been told. He's been doing a lot of work for quite some time, and so I think that ability to adapt on the spot or having that understanding as far as like, you know, knowing how to dance plays a really big factor. I know people go back and forth with that all the time, like, oh, dancing and, you know, it doesn't have anything to do with krump and stuff like that. Okay, but it still gives you, in my personal opinion, it gives you a better understanding of as far as the fundamentals in krump that came from other genres of dance. Hold this L. So looking at this particular battle, I definitely give it in favor to Hercules, because I've seen what he's done, and his ability to execute. I was talking with Heartless and Hercules and I'm sorry, Herc. I was talking with Bullet, Heartless, and Dread last night, and I remember the first time that we saw him at I think it was Wasteland 3, and he was battling Rock Solid, and me and Al picked up on like the small, you know, concept that he did. You know, if you know, like the Compton airport has an airplane on the back of it. You know, he ran back and, you know, kind of pulled an airplane and threw it at Rock Solid. And that was something that was very subtle. You know, I know it's not the most amazing thing in the world, but I still thought it was extremely buck and it was tight. You know, that shows a certain level of adaptation or freestyle and creativity that not everybody is going to be able to implement or think on their feet like that. Some people are just simply going to go 100% based off of what they brought from their lab. But I think that's a big component that stands out with a lot of dancers who come from, you know, other genres of dance, or simply they're just comfortable with just freestyling on the spot. And that was obviously something that we saw from Hercules. So yeah, so looking at this particular battle, I'm going to go in favor of Hercules for this particular one. I think if Lil Skillz, if he wants to win this battle, I think he'll have to definitely sharpen up as far as like, I think his timing, fundamentals, and he's going to have to bring some real killers, you know, some combos that are going to hit hard, and that are simply going to delude, you know, Hercules' round, because I mean, that man gets live and then you take off, you're not going to be able to catch it. It's like a wildfire. So it is what it is. So that's what I got. So recapping all those, I got Oxy for the win. I have Oxy, Qween, DeadEnd, Fun and Games, Bullet, and Hercules. So that's what I got for this round of battles. So please, again, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like, share, comment. Let me know your thoughts on who you think is going to win these particular battles. If you have a different opinion, if you see something I don't, please, by all means, let me know. I'm not afraid to have you, for us to go live and we can chat about this. It is what it is, you know, at the end of the day. But appreciate y'all rocking me on the next one. Stay tuned for part 3. Catch y'all later. Peace.